How you doing, folks? It's Ron from Ron's Beers and Tools. I just got a layout of my Klein Pliers, the 9-inch ones and the 6-inch ones. I just wanted to show you a little about them. This is some of them. I'm missing 3 of them. I got another pair like this that these are actually a little bit smaller than the 9-inch. I've got a smaller pair with the high voltage 1000 volt handle. You can see these are the Klein with the high voltage handles. These came in a big set with screwdrivers and so forth. And these are 1000 volts, as you can see right here. These go to 1000 volts. These are Klein. Hope it's not getting washed out. The light isn't washing it out. You can see like right here how they open up a little. It's like grabbing like conduit. If you can pick up on it. It's really got a hard, sharp knurl in it on these here. On the insides of these. And they're for crimping. There's the crimping there. That's for crimping. I like these here, but you can't get into a lot of places. You'd be trying to go into a junction box or something, and you'd hit the sleeve here. You'd hit that guard, which is nice on a lot of occasions, but on some occasions it's not. Couldn't get into certain boxes, or want to get back to a wire or something, you couldn't because other wires were in the way. A lot of the pliers here have their limitations. They have a lot of good reasons on the things that they have on them, but sometimes they have limitations. And I've got 2 more with the blue. These are actually with my father's pliers. No, what it was cutting with him, but you can see the burn marks. This is what happens when you cut some Romex or any wire that's got electricity in it. It'll burn. But I got a couple other pairs that are like this. There's probably a pair in my wife's trunk compared to my trunk or my vehicle. But I want to say a little bit about the Kleins. The Klein tools are now situated in Lincolnshire, Illinois. And they started out in Chicago back in 1840 when Mr. Matthias Klein, who was an immigrant from Germany, came to the United States as a blacksmith. And how he started with the tools is a lineman with some pliers when they were just starting with electricity. It was broken. They were broken in half. He forged. They were broken in half. They were broken right there. And the guy didn't have the other half. And as you can see, these would come apart if you took that pin out. But he forged another half, made a pin, put it in there, called the guy. And from that, now you have a big company. I think it's 4 locations. Mansfield, Texas, where they make the pliers. Elk Grove Village, Illinois, that's Fort Smith, Arkansas. Over there in Cedar Rapids, they got a distribution, actually, in Cedar Rapids. I think that's Iowa. In Mexico, actually, they got a plant, and they make out the knockout punches that we're used to. And also in Mansfield, Texas, is where they make the fish tapes that Klein makes. They make a lot of tools, a lot, not just pliers. They have a lot of big array of electrical stuff, and it's not just different size pliers, it's all types of pliers. I know now, because I started the trade, electrical trade, a long time ago, and these are old-fashioned to what I see the guys using nowadays. They got some real nice pliers that come to a small, thin end, but they're pliers nonetheless with be able to pull a electrical fish tape and crimping tool on them. And right now the company is run by 5th and 6th generation family of the Kleins. It's a family owned business, and they're doing well. They're doing very well. These 9-inch high leverage, these are side cutting pliers, and those are nice. They've always been a standard. These are the 9-inch high leverage side cutting pliers with the crimping tool. crimp dye in it. They call it crimp dye. And also these here have a spot in it for the fish tape, right here, where my finger is going up and down. They have a spot in there. Hope the camera can pick up on it. There you go. See it? See how it's knurled deep? And that'll bite into a tape and hold it that I showed. This is how it would look. This is how it would look if you were pulling the fish tape through. See it going through here? And that's where the real hard knurling is in there. And I'm not really squeezing tight, just a little bit, but I've got a good grasp on the fish tape. And if you're pulling it through a wall or through the end of a conduit, and now you've got the wire on the other end, and you're pulling through, this would never slip out of this grip. Those have a real good grip on them. And that's how you would use the fish tape on these here. If you can pick up on this one here, how it looks. We're getting enough light. We could see. And these three have them. The ones with the grip, I think I had another pair that had these that had them on it. Now these no name that I have that have the high voltage handles, they have it inside for grabbing snakes. I don't know if you can see it there. It's pretty narrow, pretty deep. I'm hoping this is coming out. That would be to grab the electrical fish tape and get a little. Yes, there you go. There we go. You can see them now. See them? And you would grip the snake and pull it out of through the conduit, the EMT, or through a wall. A little bit earlier. But anyways, these are good pliers. They average from the regular $36.45 up to $46. I think these ones are some price I've seen from like $39.97 on some of them. They're all U.S. made. All U.S. made. I guess the knockouts in Mexico aren't. The knockout punches. And all these are American made. As you can see. Let's see if we can pick up a pair and read it. It's one of the best to read. So what they say is Klein tools, got the guy climbing the pole, we can pick up on it. And wear eye protection. This is the number 12098. And they do have some numbers on them. I'm going to show you that in the second. Also cribbers here, these ones here. These are Klein's, 9-inch. They all say wear eye protection. These are D213-9 NECR. These are contractors, basically tools what they kind of go after, the electricians and electrical folks. These are crimpers, as you can see in here. And they also have it for pulling the fish tape right in here. Now if you can pick up on that, it's kind of like the end of the pliers itself, but not double knurled, just sided so that if you grab a fish tape you can pull it. Protect against electrical, will not protect against electric shock. That's this here, this one here. It's not that thick. We've all used it. I have all through the years and still use them on electrical stuff, but they warn you not to because it's really not that thick. I've used it on live stuff, but it can nick easily and get a little nick in there and you can end up getting electrocuted. They do have these here, as you can see. These are insulators. And that raises it up quite a bit of voltage. I don't know exactly, so I'm not going to say. But that raises the voltage up. And these are 9-inch. This is what they look like. You get them in pairs. They come in a bag like this here. And they're Klein Lineman Plier handles. And they give you installation instructions on it. Place open end in hot water to within 1 inch of the plugged end for approximately 1 minute. And then drive on the pliers. So you would take this here and put hot water to within 1 inch of here. And it'll soften it up and you can drive it on to the pliers. These are number 89, which is in here. 89. For 7-inch pliers, it's 70. And for 6-inch, it's 60. Number 60 for these ones here. These are 6-inch pliers here. Klein Tool Incorporated, Chicago. They're no longer in Chicago. They've moved. These are the, as I just mentioned, the 6-inch pliers. I use these a lot, believe it or not. I sometimes take 2 pairs when I'm going up on a ladder. 2 pairs of these are a lot lighter than 1 pair of these. And I do use these a lot for that simple reason. If I drop a pair, I don't want to come all the way down the ladder. Because when you're working, you can't tie it off, or you can tie yourself off, but you can't tie the pliers off. But I've dropped them in, I've learned 2 pairs, and that's why I have so many pliers. Through the years I've gone through different kinds of pliers, different color handles. These are channel lock, I don't know if you can pick up on it. But these are channel lock, 9-inch channel locks, Lineman pliers. They don't have anything in there, it's just a regular plier. These ones here were my dad's. And you can see something happened there. Like that's what happens when you cut a live wire. It burns it. Looks like it happened a couple of times, possibly on this one here. And those are Klein's. No, correction, these aren't. Let's see if I can pick out. No, these aren't Klein's. These are not Klein's. I don't know what make they are, but they're not Klein's. They have the color handle like Klein's. Also with these here. These aren't Klein's neither. Got a nice gripping in there. Nice grip for grabbing the tape. Electrical snake, I should say. But no, these aren't Klein's, and they've got the thick electrical protection on the handles. I think there's another pair that's not Klein. No, they're not. They got the thick electrical hand covers on the handles. And these are not Klein pliers. 9-inch pliers. These ones here, you can see the sides of them compared to this. See how this is a bit more now? I did that. I ground these down almost to like, in a way, to fit into the electrical boxes. And these were well used. I used these a lot when I was had a crimp and pull snakes. So I ground these down, if you can see it. But I ground these down to make the top skinnier, not as fat as that. Even a little bit that way too, on this side right here. These are well used. They open up. You should throw them up. When you throw them, they go like this here. They come back down. Pliers are singing. When you first get them, they don't open up. They're very hard. Guys used to take a brick, a broken brick, and piece of it, and break it up and make it like a powder, and put it into here. And crunch, 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 to wear them in, so that they open up. As soon as you do this, they open up. I always just put some grease in something, and then wipe it out and play with it. And well, these are a little bit more in depth. Klein tools before 1972 had a code on them, and it's a simple code, and I will write it right here, right now. Basically, what it is, the letter M, Klein Corporation, M. Klein Corporation. And all you do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 is 0. The letter M would be 1. The letter K would be 2. The letter L would be 3. The E would be 4, and so on. So forth till the last one on corp would be the P, and that would be 0. Now when you see a 3-letter digit, what it means is that, we'll say you see a K, K, C, P. Okay? KCP, you see. That would be, the K would be 1. Let me correct, that would be 2. That would be the second quarter of their year. The C would be 7. The P would be 0. So that tool would be made, as you can see here, the second quarter of the year 1970. K is the 2, C is the 7, P is the 0, and so forth. So if it was 3, 4, 5, you'd have LEI. It'd be the third quarter of 1945. But that's how they have their code. Until it's before, so I don't think they have the codes anymore. From I think these were coded from 72 back till they were older than 1972. And that's how they did it. And hope I showed you a little on the tools here. It's kind of nice having these tools because I use them a lot. And like I say, I use these quite a bit. I use them, like I say, when I'm going up a ladder or above ground level, I always take 2 pairs of them. They're easy to put in your pocket, any pocket. And if you drop one, you've always got another pair you pull out of your pocket. I've always had a tendency to be using the pliers, and I'll be twisting some wires or grabbing something, and just as I do this with my hand, do that, they'd fall out of my hand and go down 3 stories, maybe more stories. Particularly if I was working on staging. So having these pairs, two pairs of these here, you drop one, you always have another in your pocket. So that's why I have so many of these. I explained these already. These are nice, I have a lot of these. I had some pliers that you could put on these ones here because they don't advise you to work with electricity on these. Cut these off and put these on. These may be a high voltage. I don't know, remember now what the voltage on these here goes up to. But M. Klein and Sons, Chicago, USA. So these are old. I don't think they still sell these. You know, I really don't. That's the bag that it comes in. As you can see, M. Klein Line Pliers handles. Installation instructions. It tells you how to put it in hot water almost to the end, the closed end, an inch from that. This is bag number 89, and that's for 8-inch and 9-inch pliers. The smaller ones in the blue are 6-inch here, and this number 70 would be for 7-inch. Hope that's coming out. Wouldn't have much light on this part here. And there's also these other ones that other companies sell. For pliers that need them. Or the ones that are one. These are for small. Usually you see the small little needle nose pliers. These are used for. A lot of times I used to just tape up my pliers for extra insurance. I was working on some, I think 480 volt stuff. And I want to be sure. I know that they advise you not to work on electrical stuff with these yellow handles and this blue, but I figured I would tape it up. There's some thin rubber gloves. But you're only safe as far as if you just kill the power. A lot of instances we couldn't kill the power. We just could not kill the power. For any reason, there's a number of reasons you couldn't kill the power, and that's the way it is when you have to work electrical. You just got to be smart. And that's it. That's the whole array of them. I don't know if it's a short video. I just want to show the pliers that I've used. And you ought to check out Klein Tools, what they're on the market now. They got some tremendous, some tremendous looking pliers. I thought these were the cat's meow. With the crimper and the electrical snake grabber here. Oh, these were really a working man's tool. But now you see some of the stuff that they have on the market that Klein has put out. And these too. I thought these were the cat's meow. I didn't use these as much. I like them because they had the thinner head on it. But these handles were inhibited, kind of get into boxes a lot of times. But that's them. And hope you enjoyed it. Have a good day, folks. Ciao.